Okay, I'm just checking my work for yesterday, and I wasn't able to be at the computer live. I have people visiting here, so I'm just keeping the baseline updated. And it was the most difficult day I've seen in a long, long time. And I think it's good for integrity purposes to just show exactly how difficult a system can be on a bad day. On a good day, this is a really, really easy thing to trade. On a bad day, boy, it's complicated as hell. So I just wanted to run through the whole day, and I'll show you some stuff. So we start at the start of the trading day. We're looking at the 2-minute chart. We have a clear breakout above old lows. This is a breakout we want to be on. Pullback is textbook. We definitely want to be long, but you can see the 10-minute here doesn't touch the lower Bollinger, so we have no trade. Sucks. Now, one thing that is very common is when you get between sessions, so you get from the Asian session to the European session, the ATR is very difficult to read because of the scaling issue. Now, the way to solve that is to put the peak on the left-hand side of your screen, like so. Now, what we're looking for is a close above the close of the bar that makes this high, which happens to occur here. You can see this close is above that close. Now, if we look closely, you can see that from this bar to that bar, ATR has gone down. So we immediately flip into low volatility trending mode and we start looking for hammer candles. We get a hammer candle the very next bar, but if you look, the hammer candle on completion, so we would prep that order, but on completion, this hammer candle has made a fresh ATR high, switching us out of low volatility trending mode. So you have to prep the order, prepare for it, and then at the last minute you see, no way, I can't take that. Very, very difficult situation. Now here we can see that this bar here, we are going up, higher close, lower volatility, so we flip into decreasing volatility trending mode. At this point, we stop taking short trades, which is very nice because we have a lower close, higher close short trade that we would have taken. So we don't take this bad boy. And remember, we're looking for hammer candles that touch at least the 8 EMA. So we have a hammer candle here, and we go long on a break of the high, stop underneath here if we have confirming evidence. And we have confirming evidence on both the 5 and the 10. 10's walking up the outside of the Bollinger, so is the 5. So we get a nice winner there. Also, if this is a shooting star, which I didn't check, we would not take that because we're not taking short trades. I didn't check, but it makes no difference anyway. Now here it gets very difficult. We have a session extreme of low volatility, which should put us on alert that low volatility trending mode might be over. Now, by the time we make highs, we have made a new high in ATR. It's difficult to see, but we have made a new high in ATR. So we're no longer going down. We've broken the pattern. It doesn't look like that anymore. So now we have to take short trades. Now, something super interesting is happening. We're looking for a short trade. Now, I'm using the FXCM data feed. If, for example, a different broker, pull back on a different broker, and you can see what happened. You can see that Oanda posted a higher close, so confirming the setup. So if you were trading off Oanda, you would have to take this short setup, but we're using the FXCM data feed at the moment, so we don't. That's just a neat little example of how FX can be screwy compared to futures. Difficult, right? Really difficult. All right, so let's have a look there. So we're stalking a valid short trade, and we don't get that short trade until we get a touch of the lower Bollinger, higher close, lower close here. Our target is way up here, so that is not a high and tight setup, but by here, our target is 17.5, which puts us here. So you can see the new target is slightly above the old highs, which is acceptable in a strong trend, according to our rules. So we take this trade, which is a loser. Now what happens? Let me just check my spreadsheet, see what did happen. Okay, so according to the spreadsheet, that was 350, yes, and the next trade was okay. So we have a potential setup here, but if we look, we have confirming evidence on the 5-minute, but if you turn your attention to the 10-minute, we have no confirming evidence, so we cannot take this trade. We have a potential setup here. Significant high, lower close, higher close, but the setup is confirmed first with the RTC setup. So this is the setup bar. Now, if we look at the confirming evidence, we do not have enough to call this a downtrend on the 10-minute because a single leg by itself is never a confirmed trend. That is a pullback and a downtrend on the 5-minute. So we have confirming evidence on the 5, but not the 10, so it's not enough. Similarly here, we don't have confirming evidence on the 10, so we don't place that order, and the setup is cancelled when it breaks the low here. Getting difficult, right? Okay, this one here, we have a setup which touches both Bollingers, so we have to place this order, but the order is never filled, and once it breaks the low, we cancel the setup. Now, one thing I neglected to mention is you can see we're in a confirmed downtrend, but the downtrend becomes decreasing volatility at the moment that it's a confirmed downtrend, which is right here. It becomes decreasing volatility. So at this point right here, we switch off long setups. Sorry, so we would not place this order. We start looking for short setups. So there's a potential short setup here. We have to look and see, is that a shooting star candle? To be a shooting star candle, it has to have an upper wick equal to or greater than 2 times the real body. And it does. Well, let's see if it does. The upper wick is from 11003 to 997, so it's 6, and the real body is from 3 to the open is 94 to 97 is 3. So let me double check that. High is 3 and the close is 97. So it's exactly equal to or greater than the real body, and it's a close in the lower half of the range. So this is a valid shooting star setup. So we go short on a break of here, stop just above the high. Because the setup range is less than our 3 pip minimum stop distance, we size our position on 3 pips. And now, the big question is, do we hit our target here so we can reload here? So let's look at that. So our entry point is the nearest half pip below 9994, which is 9990, and our stop loss is 10005. So we are risking a pip and a half, so we want 3.5. So we're sizing it on the basis of 3 pips. Our target is 3.3 pips, which we round up to 3.5 pips. So from 9990, which is right here, we go 9980, 9970, 9960, and this is the target here. So we do not meet our target. So we don't hit the target and then reload here. We have the target. Now, if we look here, we have a session low in volatility. It has broken the previous session low. So any spike in volatility now switches the trend motor off. So now, at this point right here, we are taking longs again. So at this point, the setup becomes high and tight. Do we have confirming evidence? And let's look at the confirming evidence. Yes, we do. It's walking down the Bollinger on the 5 and the 10. This is an order you have to place, but you can see that the order is never filled. Here, our low is 9912, and our low here is 9912. So that's a double top. Now, at this point, we have made a new closing low compared to this ATR, and we've made a new closing low lower than the close of this low. So we have switched back on decreasing volatility trending mode. So if we didn't switch back on, we would be taking the setup long here and having a losing trade. But here, it's switched off. Very subtle, difficult to see. And we're looking for this trade here. Is this a valid trade? And we are up to 650. What did I get? This. Let's check if it's a shooting star. So the close is 9919 and the open is 9921, so that's 2, and the upper wick is 25 less the open, which is 21, which is 4. So equal to or greater than 2 times the real body. So yes, this is a setup. So do we have confirming evidence? What would this have looked like? Decreasing volatility trend on the 10-minute. So we take this, and on the 5-minute, at 640, we look like that. So we haven't got a pullback to the moving averages. So this is no trade. Very difficult decision. We get another shooting star candle here at 652. Do we take this setup? So we're clearly decreasing volatility trending on the 2. We have a pullback to the moving averages on the 10-minute. And we have a pullback to the moving averages on the 5-minute with evidence that it's over. We take this trade at 652, and I missed this one in real time. So that goes in my mistake column. Okay, so let me add this to the spreadsheet. Our low here is 99.24, so our entry is 99.2, 92. Sorry. So 92 less 3 is 88.5, and 88.5 is here. We have not got to our target before we are stopped out. Okay, so you can see that because we're still in decreasing volatility trending mode, we do not take this long setup, which would have worked, and we are still taking short setups. So first of all, we have a potential short setup here, but if we look, our Bollinger high is 99.37 and our bar high is 99.36, so no trade, doesn't fit the rules. Here, we have touch of the Bollinger, lower close, higher close. This is a setup that we have to investigate. We're still taking short setups. There's no reason not to take it. And we have, on the 5, we have a pullback at least to the moving averages in a trend, and the same on the 10. We have to take this trade, losing trade. Now, losing trade at 736. Now, touch of the Bollinger, shooting star completes the setup. We have a touch of the Bollinger on the 5, and on the 10 we have a pullback in a downtrend to at least the moving averages with evidence that it's over. So you have to place this order, but then at this bar it breaks the high of that order and you immediately cancel the order, thus saving yourself a losing trade, and that winds us out to 8 o'clock. So all in all, this is absolutely one of the most difficult days that I've ever encountered. Most days it's easy, some days it's not. Got to show you the good and the bad. All right. If you need help with this, book a call with me and we can go through it in detail.